We stand on a small planet orbiting a common star in a vast, swirling galaxy among billions of others. Yet within each of us lies another universe, equally vast, an inner world of thoughts, feelings, memories, and dreams. This is the realm of consciousness, the sense of being me. What is this intimate experience, this awareness of existence? It's more than just being alive. A bacterium is alive, a plant is alive. But do they ponder their place? Do they feel the sting of sorrow or the warmth of joy? This subjective inner life, this is the enigma. Philosophers have debated it. Spiritual leaders have explored it. Now science steps into the arena, armed with tools of inquiry, seeking to understand the source and the very nature of our awareness. Join me as we explore this, science's greatest puzzle. Before we explore, we must try to define. What exactly is consciousness? It sounds simple, doesn't it? You know what it is. It's what you are experiencing right now, reading these words, thinking your own thoughts, feeling the world around you. But a precise definition? That's surprisingly elusive. Scientists often speak of awareness of oneself, of the environment. They also talk about sentience, the capacity to feel, perceive, or experience subjectively. There's wakefulness too, the state of not being asleep or in a coma. But consciousness is more than just being awake. Think of the richness of experience, the vibrant red of a sunset, the taste of a ripe strawberry, the complex emotions of love. These are often called qualia, the raw, subjective qualities of our inner experiences. How do we capture these in words? How do we measure them? This is part of the challenge. Consciousness remains a concept we all intuitively understand, yet it resists easy capture, like trying to hold smoke or describe a color to someone born without sight. Our journey takes us inside the head, into the 3-pound universe we call the human brain. This intricate network of cells, billions of neurons firing, creating an electrical storm. Somehow, amidst this activity, consciousness seems to emerge. But how and where exactly? Science seeks the neural correlates of consciousness, or NCCs. That's the scientific term. It means researchers look for brain activity that consistently matches up with conscious states. When you see a face, what parts of your brain light up? When you make a decision, what signals can we detect? These are clues, not answers. Tools like fMRI machines allow us to peer inside. Functional magnetic resonance imaging. It tracks blood flow in the brain. EEG, or electroencephalography, measures electrical brainwaves using sensors on the scalp. These tools show us patterns, correlations between brain states and reported experiences. But here's a crucial point. Correlation is not causation. The orchestra plays, but who is listening? Philosopher David Chalmers made a distinction, a very important one for this quest. He talked about the easy problems and the hard problem of consciousness. Now, easy is relative here. These problems are still complex. They involve how the brain processes information, for instance, how it focuses attention or controls behavior. These easy problems are about functions. How does the brain integrate data? How do we report our inner states? How do we access our memories? Scientists are making progress here, mapping brain circuits, understanding mechanisms. We can build machines that perform some of these functions, like recognizing faces or speech. But then comes the hard problem. This is the question of, why does all this processing feel like anything at all from the inside? Why isn't it all just dark computation, like your smartphone calculating? It processes information, but does it anything? Why do we have subjective experience? This is the core of the enigma, the question that keeps scientists and philosophers awake at night. Section 5, all just atoms, the materialist perspective on mind. One major school of thought is materialism, or more broadly, physicalism. The core idea is straightforward. Everything that exists is physical, or it supervenes on the physical. That includes consciousness. There is no separate, non-physical mind. No soul, no spirit distinct from the workings of our bodies. Our thoughts, feelings, awareness, they are products of the brain. Materialism suggests that consciousness is a complex physical process, just like digestion is a process, or how a heart pumps blood. It's something the brain, perhaps it's an emergent property, arising from the intricate dance of billions of neurons interacting. Like wetness emerges from water molecules, though no single molecule is wet. Consciousness, then, is what brains produce. There are different flavors here. Identity theory, for example, it proposed that mental states are identical to brain states. Thought a specific pattern of neural firing, period. Functionalism offers another view. It says mind is defined by its function, not what it's made of. So, theoretically, something non-biological could be conscious if it performed the right kinds of processing. But materialism faces a big hurdle. It's that hard problem again. How do purely physical processes give rise to subjective experience? How does the stuff of the brain become the feeling of being? Explaining the mechanics is one thing. Explaining the inner qualitative feel is quite another. The jump from neurons firing to the rich tapestry of awareness still feels like a giant leap. Section 6, Mind and Matter, exploring the divide with dualism. Now let's consider another path, an ancient idea. Really, it's called dualism, most famously championed by the philosopher René Descartes. He lived in the 17th century. Dualism proposes that there are two fundamentally different kinds of substances or properties in the universe, mental and physical. Mind and matter are distinct. Descartes believed the mind or soul was non-physical thinking stuff. The body, including the brain, was physical, extended stuff. This is called substance dualism. Your mind is not your brain. Your mind is something else entirely. It interacts with your brain, perhaps through a specific point, like the pineal gland, he thought. But it is fundamentally separate. This idea resonates with many. It often aligns with our intuition. We feel like we have a body, but we are a mind. Section 7, A Universe Alive. The Whispers of Panpsychism. Let's explore a more radical idea, one that's gaining some traction. It's called panpsychism. The word means mind everywhere, or consciousness in all things. Now, this doesn't mean your pet rock is secretly pondering philosophy, or that your chair feels bored. It's more subtle than that. It suggests that consciousness, in some very rudimentary form, is a fundamental property of matter. Think about other fundamental properties like mass or electrical charge. Particles have these properties inherently. Panpsychism proposes that some basic form of experience, or proto-consciousness, is also an intrinsic feature of the basic constituents of reality. Electrons, quarks, whatever they may be, they don't think like we do, but they might have some simple, unimaginably basic form of feeling. Why consider such a strange idea? Well, it offers a potential way around the hard problem. Section 8. Thinkers at the Edge, Voices on the Nature of Thought. The quest for consciousness isn't solitary. Many brilliant minds grapple with it. Neuroscientists, philosophers, physicists, each brings a unique perspective. Christoph Koch, a prominent neuroscientist, once a firm believer that we'd find a specific consciousness circuit in the brain, now explores ideas like integrated information theory, or IIT, developed by Giulio Tononi. IIT proposes consciousness is a measure of a system's capacity to integrate information. Integrated information theory, or EIT, suggests that any system, whether biological or artificial, if it has the right kind of complex, integrated information structure, will possess consciousness. It even offers a mathematical way to measure this integration called phi. A higher phi means more consciousness. This theory is being actively tested, and it has implications for everything from animal consciousness to AI. Then there are thinkers like Daniel Dennett, a philosopher with a different take. He argues that the hard problem might be a kind of illusion, a result of our conceptual confusion. He suggests that what we call qualia, those private, ineffable experiences, don't exist in the way we think. Our brains are like complex machines, creating a user illusion of a unified self. Section 9. The final frontier. Can science ever fully know consciousness? So where does this leave us? We've journeyed through definitions, explored brain scans and theories, from materialism to panpsychism. We've seen that the brain is key. Its intricate workings are undeniably linked to our conscious experience. Damage the brain and consciousness can alter or vanish entirely. Yet the central mystery, the hard problem, how physical processes create subjective feeling, remains stubbornly unsolved. Can science, with its methods rooted in objective observation and third-person measurement, ever fully grasp something so intrinsically subjective, so first-person? This is a profound question. Some believe it's only a matter of time, that new theories, new technologies will eventually crack the code. Perhaps a grand unified theory of brain and mind awaits discovery. Others are more skeptical. They suggest that consciousness might represent a fundamental limit to what science can explain. Perhaps subjectivity, by its very nature, lies beyond the reach of purely objective empirical methods. Or maybe we need a revolution in our scientific thinking itself, a new paradigm to accommodate the reality of inner experience. The quest to understand consciousness is one of humanity's grandest adventures. The search continues, the enigma endures.